2018 marks the 10-year anniversary of the Philadelphia Union, an MLS team willed into existence by its loyal fan base, the Sons of Ben. But since its inclusion in Major League Soccer back in 2010, the team has had little success outside of some US Open Cup runs. This has led Director of Football, Ernie Stewart, to push for some changes around the front office. The curtains have closed on Jim Curtin's campaign as Union head coach, and the team instead turned to a very young, British tea-drinking replacement in Liam Jenkins. Rebuilding the Union will not be easy. The millions of obscure MLS rules will be tough to navigate through, but with pressure building on the team to succeed after the Eagles' incredible Super Bowl win, this could be their last chance at success before a dreaded makeover. My name is Liam Jenkins from Philly Sports Network, and this is Rebuilding the Union. Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new series here on Philly Sports Network. Now, it's not the conventional series. Normally on this channel we find film room pieces and podcasts and all of that kind of good stuff, but now we're delving into the world of video games, and I don't tend to be very good at them, which means this could be a series that either goes really well or horrifically badly, depending which way you look at it. But either way, Philadelphia officially hired us as general manager in Football Manager 2018. For those MLS fans watching this that don't know what this game is, imagine FIFA on steroids, but you don't play the game, you just manage the players and the tactics and all of that good stuff. So if you haven't played it, please do check it out. It is a lot of fun, or watch me fail miserably and maybe get your kicks that way. But this is going to be a fun series. I'm not exactly great at this game, and the only time I actually tend to do marginally well is bizarrely with the Philadelphia Union. So we'll be hoping for much of that same success, and boy is it going to be needed. We can see there that the actual success of the team over the last few years has not been great. They entered the MLS in 2010 and they've not really done extremely well outside of, as I mentioned in the intro, the US Open Cup. But this is a key screen. If we're going to make team changes, we have to bear this in mind. Now, Bedoya, the team leader, highly influential players, and most of the older guys, apart from Blake, who we'd want to get rid of. I mean, Fabinho is one of them there. We can see Ilsinho doesn't really have a lot left on his contract. What we want to do is shake up this squad. Now, we can't do very much in the first season. What I want to do is play a full season with most of the guys we've already got, get rid of the bad contracts and the older guys, build through the draft, and then bring in some younger talent through the academy. It sounds simple. I think keeping the job is the really hard part here. But either way, here's what we're working with so far. Star ratings are how good the player is in that position, and as you can see, defence is where we really need to be strengthening. We've got two good centre-backs, but beyond that, Yarrow doesn't tend to stay healthy very much, and well, we'll see that later, but we don't have a lot of depth at centre-back, so ideally we need some guys to come in or maybe step up from the academy. But here's a quick look at the players who will be key cogs during this first season. Now, Bedoya is likely going to be the captain, and now he's one of the new signings already on the squad through real life. Of course, they acquired him from Chicago Fire, and Ilsinho, who's going to be a real veteran presence at attacking centre mid or on the wing. Now, the one thing that stands out to me is that we do have a few strikers with 14 finishing or above. Now, finishing is obviously the key attribute for a striker. They're graded out of 20, and for me, CJ Sapong, you know, there's some trade interest there, as we can see, from LA and Atlanta, and we've got a fair bit of depth, and we do need defence, so why not at least just see what we can get for him? Ray Gaddis at 26, we've got him on contract at least through this year. He's going to be the number 2 option behind Fabinho, and then somehow Farfar is already wanted as well, despite the fact he's not even played a game yet. We'll ignore that for now, but we do need to strengthen that defence. Now, Dockel is on the team as well. Eric Ayuk is a player that I really like, but Dockel's a player that's come in relatively underrated for Union fans on the game. In real life, obviously a much bigger acquisition. I also decided to take a look at the academy. So these are automatically generated players who could well play an impact in years to come. For now though, most of them are 1-star rating and barely know how to kick a ball. They're also about 12 years old, which means they won't really be much use to us as of this point. But there are a couple of key players where if we do get Open Cup play and we do need to rotate around, we could maybe call a couple of these guys up or send them to the Bethlehem Steel and see how they function at the USL level of play. There's not an overall great talent at the moment. What you want to build this academy through is the draft. So you bring all your picks in, you send them down to the academy, they get amazing at football in a hypothetically great universe, and they come in and destroy the MLS. Now, life isn't that simple, nor is it that easy. However, it's something we'd like to do, and we really want to focus on youth development. So as the years go by, and well, providing we're still at the team, we will be focusing on these players and giving maybe like monthly updates as to how they're doing, what their training's like, are they improving, regressing, and that sort of thing. But as things stand, there's no one really outstanding in the academy to keep note of, and we'll take a look at Bethlehem Steel, and again, a couple players there, no one really outstanding. The first signing we did make though was Connor Donovan, a 21-year-old centre-back. The reason being, he looks good in terms of tackling. He's a very strong guy as well at 14. He can't jump very high for some reason, so I'm assuming he's about 4'9". But to sit in behind Richie Marquez, you can see he's about as good as Josh Yarrow according to our scouts, which means as a cheap option to come in, God forbid there's any injuries or anything like that, having a young centre-back who can develop behind those guys and maybe step up to the plate when called upon, it's nice to have that rotation there. So he's not going to be a starter, but nonetheless a great player to have on the team. Now obviously I cover the Philadelphia Eagles, so you know I've been studying the works of Howie Roseman and seeing how his trade negotiations have just defied the laws of relativity and every other human law, so I thought I'd try my luck. I sent out a couple of offer sheets for CJ Sapong just to see what the interest would be like, and well, it didn't go well. How hard can it be? I mean, teams actually wanted him. They said they want him. I offer him. They're like, nah, we'll give you nothing in return, and you give us the player. What a fair trade that is. Brilliant. I love the MLS already. This is going absolutely fantastic. Anyway, we're now at our captain selection screen, so we're going to go with Bedoya and Andre Blake as the vice captain, and then we just go through the boring stuff. So we're setting the training and that sort of thing, and then having a quick check-in on pre-season. I mean, so far it's actually going pretty well. I'm actually a bit surprised that we haven't completely blundered everything in our path, because that's what usually happens when I play this game. The squad report is looking fairly good, players seem pretty happy with everything, and look at that! Until the game with Bethlehem Steel, we're undefeated! We haven't lost, now we haven't played anyone irrelevant at the start apart from New York and New England and San Jose, but I mean it's a thought that counts, right? It's definitely an improvement, and as we head in towards that, right, so Eric Ayuk is injured, and now he's giving me lip! Now he's having a go. He's injured himself and now he's getting lippy. Brilliant. So Herbers is injured for 2 weeks. We're without our young striker and now Eric Ayuk is injured. I mean, it was going to happen. It was always going to happen. So he's going on the disabled list. There's our second guy. That's our young striker that could have well seen some minutes in the opening few games as we start to rotate around and try and find an actual leading goal scorer of relevance. I mean, Sapong's never had more than 10 goals a season, so we need to get, you know, something going eventually, because otherwise this is just going to get messy. We need some form of designated attack. Committee efforts are great, but, you know, at this stage we need an out-and-out star or a developmental guy who can come in at striker. So anyway, we're moving on now towards the back end of pre-season, and oh my god, it's happened again. Fabinho, our starting left back, probably the most important player on the team, is injured. So now we're without Fabinho, Ayuk, Herbers. I want to cry. I haven't even played a game yet and I want to cry. It's happening again. Can I go back to FIFA? Is it too soon? Anyway, what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is there's this fantastic thing called the waiver draft. So every team waives off the players they don't want, and Minnesota picked up this guy, and it got me thinking, could I pick up a player for free who could fill in for Fabinho? And as I was trawling through the list and I was scrolling around and I was trying to find a replacement, I stumbled on a very familiar face. Ashley Cole. That's right, Ashley Cole, the slowest left back in history, who's enjoyed, well, a rather big decline in the last few years and now been released by LA Galaxy. You know, as a strong tackling option and a cheap salary, why not? I mean, it's only a 1-year deal, right? And then that means that if, God forbid, Gaddis were to fall injured, we've at least got a starting caliber left back. So for £5 a week, five grand a week. Oh, £5 a week. We're playing Ashley Cole at left back. I didn't see that at the time of signing, which is an error on my part. But hey, we may have some trade leverage. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. The end of episode 1 is upon us. The way it's going to work, we're going to play 1 game an episode, sim a couple, maybe play 1 more, sim a couple, so we get a nice balance so you can see what exactly is going on. We're asking Bedoya to welcome the cash hog in Ashley Cole to the squad. Next episode sees the MLS season take place. We open our campaign with a game against the Vancouver Whitecaps. If you've liked this episode, give it a like, hit subscribe. It's something totally new. I hope you stay with us on this journey.